Hey, what's up guys? Back here with another video today. Before I get into it, I want to thank the patrons. Just got off of a video lesson with Jeffrey. Had a really good conversation also about martial arts after it was done. If you're interested in either sending me your video clips so that they can be critiqued, or having a video FaceTime or Zoom lesson with me every month, you can do that via the Patreon. And there are also other perks like the monthly Q&As, discounts, giveaways, things like that. This video is also sponsored by Just Meats. You'll see that later on in the video. Before I get into it, one more thing. I want to plug my brand, Collage Skateboards. Now this is our chains graphic, and this is the Earth graphic. Got the Lover's Deck, which is one that sold out before and we brought back because people kept requesting it. And this one is called Fungus World. This is one of my favorite decks we've ever made. It just looks really cool. You can find these and other graphics that we offer, as well as hats, beanies, t-shirts at clubdist.com. That's www.clubdist.com. They also carry other products, hardware, trucks from Ace, who sponsor me. Thanks Ace, what up? Yeah, you can get all that at clubdist.com, but please check out Collage Skateboards. If you're in the market for a deck and you want to support me, feel free to grab one. So let's get into the video. Today we're going to talk about flip tricks. About Flatground, I'm sorry. We're going to talk about Flatground today. I did a rookie mistakes video saying not to sleep on Flatground. And that video performed really well. And in that video, I did say that I was going to have a tip that would really help you guys out with your flat ground. Because let's face it, flat ground is very difficult. That's why I recommend that while you're getting your early flat ground tricks down, you should also be skating transition, learning basic transition tricks, obviously how to drop in, rock to fakies, things of that nature, so that you can just kind of tamp down the difficulty level of learning all those flip tricks with some relatively easy early transition tricks. But once you do start skating flat ground more, it can be frustrating when you're kind of stuck in one place and when certain tricks aren't working out as well as you may want them to work out. So I'm going to offer you guys a tip that really helps. And I have been doing this for a while, but when I've been filming myself skating flat ground recently, I really noticed how much of a big deal this makes. And this is what made me go and see what the difference was between when I'm doing this and when I'm not doing this. So this is not a rookie mistake video, because I think it's more than just like, as a rookie, you're not ready to actually do this when you just start skating. But like, let's say you're able to kick flip, heel flip, pop shove it, back 180. You're starting to kick flip off of a drop or off some stairs. Maybe you can do a varial flip, a tray flip, a backside flip. When you're at that level, this tip is really going to come in handy. It's going to take you to the next level. And that is, you've got to use, these boards are here for a reason more than me just plugging collage. I actually needed one of them as a prop. So you want to be using the front and the back of your board effectively. And what I mean is, when I first learned how to kickflip, right? I've talked about this over and over and over again. Everybody who could kickflip was doing a pretty good kickflip. They're flicking forward, and I was attempting to do this and I couldn't do it till I met my friend Sebastian, and he was doing the beginner kickflip where your foot's not in the center, it's off to the side, your toes are pointed at the nose, and you flip off the side of the board. And once I saw the way he was doing the kickflip, that's what unlocked it and made me able to land it, okay? And it was the same with heel flips. I learned them kicking completely sideways at first. The only person that I knew who could do them was my friend Giovanni, and Giovanni did them that way. And that's how I was able to learn heel flips. And you guys have known my heel flips are trash for a long time, and this is a big part of what made my heel flip better. So I discovered a lot earlier that I needed to flick my kickflips actually off of the nose. And specifically, after popping the tail of my board, as my foot's sliding, once it gets into this section right here, like I call this kind of the ditch of the board. Like these are like the ditches of the board. Once your foot's in that ditch, that's when you flick out and you want to flick up off the nose, right? Now I figured this out for kick flips. I figured this out for backside flips. I figured this out for varial flips. It's really important for varial flips. But I didn't figure out to do this with heel flips for a long time. And I was already kind of doing them with my nollie heels, but I hadn't figured out to do them for heel flips. So I had a better nollie heel flip than I had a regular heel flip for years. Once I figured this out, it changed everything. Because to get from that beginner level flip trick to a more advanced and a better looking flip trick, the big keys are, first, you're gonna squat down and start to rise up a little bit before you pop, but you don't want to rise up too far because you don't want your legs to be straight. So you want to start to rise up, but your knee should still be bent when you pop. And once you've popped, you want to lift your back leg up as you're sliding your front foot forward. But you want your back foot to reach the height that it's going to stay at just before your front foot flicks out. And you want your front foot to slide up to the ditch, and then you need to use your ankle to flick out. And you need to follow through forward or to the side. There are different applications for each. So the more you flick straight, usually the higher you're going to be able to flip. And then you're going to kick your front leg out past the board. I'm going to be showing a bunch of video examples here, and I'm going to be showing video examples of me doing this with kick flips, heel flips, nollie flips, backside flips, nollie heel flips, frontside heel flips. I think I even have a nollie big heel, a nollie back heel, nollie backside flip example. And this is extremely important. So like if you've ever been looking at my videos and you've wondered like how I'm flipping certain tricks so high, because I get that question a lot. Part of it comes from me being explosive into the board. Another part of it comes from how I'm squatting and generating power and how I'm rising explosively. Another part of it is this specific tip, that like how I'm flicking off the tail or off of the nose. And it's kind of a delayed motion. When you're trying to flip higher, when you're trying to make your flip look better, it's kind of two motions. So you're popping, and as you pop, you're basically just doing an ollie up to this point. Once you reach this point, you're either gonna flick your ankle out and sideways, or you're gonna flip it out and forward. Now, I recommend for you guys that are just starting with this technique to go for the sideways motion, because trying to flick off the front of the board completely is going to be a little difficult right when you're coming from flicking off the side of the board to get it to flip over. The other thing, I can't stress too much how important it is for you to be able to keep that crouched position and to lift your back leg up after you've popped. Because if you don't get your back leg up high enough, you might be able to get your foot to the edge and then flick off, but you're not going to be able to have enough space. If your back leg is down too far, the board's just going to hit your back leg before it finishes flipping. So this one's going to take you a little bit of trial and error. Any of you guys who watched my levels video on the ollies where I talk about the little baby ollie, like when I'm ollieing onto the curb, how I don't start to rise before popping for that one. Like if I'm going to crooked grind a curb, I don't need any height. And since I don't need any height, I don't need to start to propel my body up and then pop and bring my legs up to my body. I just pop from the ground where I am. So my tip for you guys when you're first learning this method of flicking out your flip tricks, that's a mouthful. You want to start popping down there and trying to get that leg out there fast. So you're gonna bend and you're gonna pop before you start to rise and flip that leg out. And once you're able to land them like this, then you can start to slowly start to lift your legs up and then pop. And don't go for like from one extreme to the other. So if you're flipping low while you're kicking off the side of the board, don't try to immediately start kick flipping up a two-stair when you start implementing this technique. go for it in increments. So start to just pop when you're low to the ground and get your front foot off the nose. And then once you're able to do this a few times, then maybe you can start trying to kickflip up a curb, right? The curb is going to make you go a little bit faster because you have to clear it with your back wheels. But if you use this technique, it should be pretty easy. And then once you're able to kickflip up that curb or over a board on its side, that's another good way, but the board on its side is usually going to be higher than any curb you would kickflip up. And kickflipping up the curb means that you don't have to come back down after you catch the flip. And that's another thing that I'll let you guys in on. Kickflipping up something, like up a set of stairs, for me is easier than kickflipping over something the same height because I don't have to worry about the back end. So I would recommend trying this. Once you're able to do it on flat ground, use the technique. When you want to start taking it higher, go up something, go up a curb. It'll require you to go a little bit faster, but that may be a little better anyway because it won't give you as much time to overthink. And you don't have to worry about the back end of once you kickflip up that height, you don't have to worry about staying still and coming back down to the ground because once you catch it, you're already up there. And when I kickflip up a 3-stair, 4, 5-stair, it's much easier than me kickflipping over something that's the height of a 3, 4, 5-stair because I don't have the time on the back end to worry about. I don't have to worry about my legs starting to push down prematurely because I can't hold them up long enough in the beginning. These are all things that you will have to worry about when you're going over something versus going up something. That's why a lot of people, you see a lot of people going up, and you'll see fewer people going over when it comes to higher stuff because it's just less scary. There's just less you have to worry about when it comes to falling down. But this quick tip, if you're able to implement it properly, this is going to change your flip tricks so much. Another way that it helped me was when I'm going downstairs, right? Because when you're flicking off the side of the board, you have a tendency to flick down. We call it mob, or at least people used to call it mob. I don't know if people use that term that much these days, but you get flick. When you're coming up, you want to, so I'll say again, you want to come up to the ditch of the board, and then you want to use your ankle to flick out and off the nose. And when I'm doing this off stairs, I'll go for the off the side. When I'm doing this upstairs, I'll go from off the front of the board because obviously going up I need it to go higher, and when I'm going off stairs I'm more concerned with going forward, and this helps you propel yourself forward up when you're going off the front of the nose, and it helps you propel yourself forward when you're going off the side. They are very different, I'll tell you that. It might not seem like there's a big difference between the two, but in practice they're extremely different. And I don't know, maybe this should have been a levels video. I don't know how to classify this video, but this is just, I didn't feel comfortable making it a rookie mistakes video necessarily. Maybe I will go back retroactively and do it, but it just seems like, it doesn't seem like this is a rookie mistake. It's like the first way of doing your flip tricks is absolutely necessary. So it's not a mistake to do them because for your physicality to evolve, you have to get through that first stage, right? And you don't get to this stage without first going through the other stage. Like, I don't know anybody that I've seen start skating and start off kickflipping off the front of the board. Like, it doesn't seem like your body is physically capable of doing that in the beginning. But once you get those flip tricks mastered to a certain degree, you have to start using this tactic. And another thing that I'm going to say before I go, because I don't want to make this one too long, is when you start flipping into slides and grinds, this is absolutely necessary because flipping off the front of the board is going to give you the ability to point your foot at that ledge. So when you're doing a kickflip backside 50-50, kickflip frontside 50-50, kickflip backside nose grind, kickflip crooked grind, you absolutely have to kickflip and point your foot into the ledge so that your board goes to your foot. It's like following through with a punch. You hit pads. Whoever's holding pads for you for the first time is going to explain to you, don't try to hit the pad, try to hit through the pad, right? It's exactly the same when you're flipping into grinds and slides. You're not trying to kickflip the board and then catch it and just land on top of the grind. If you do that, you're going to run into the issue where you're flipping, you're catching, and then you just land and fall off because you hit it with too much force, right? You're actually trying to flip just as high as you need to and land right in the trick. And you really only do this if you have that follow through and this method of starting your flip trick, whether it's a kickflip or a heel flip, as an ollie, sliding when you get to the ditch of the board, flicking your ankle out and off the front or slightly off the side of the board. This gives you the ability to control the direction that the board is going in. So yeah, you guys that are doing flip tricks, you should absolutely be implementing this technique. I'm going to put a lot of video examples in here so that you guys can see what I'm doing. I'll slow them down quite a bit so you can see either my front or my back foot, what it's doing, how it's helping. Please get out there, implement this. Send me your clips if and when this helps you, because I know this is probably going to help a lot of people that are like stuck at a stage with their flip trick. I want to see it. I want to see those videos. I want to see when you guys progress. I want to see it. It makes me happy to see it. Like when my kids are progressing, one of my kids one of the kids I teach learned a fakie big spin yesterday. It was awesome to see. Another one of my kids, he's 7 years old, and we worked on shove-its last Thursday, and he landed a shove-it his first day of trying one. So amped up, you know, landing it on the little foam on the playground. When he comes back from his vacation, we're going to get him shoveting on concrete. This is an 8-year-old kid who only skates once a week when he's with me because, you know, the kids that skate with me tend to be very busy. They're skating with me one day, they're doing gymnastics another day, they're doing karate one day. One of my kids just competed in his first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament over at UCLA. So a lot of the kids who skate with me, if you see the videos that I post, like where I've got kids that are like progressing, they're only skating once a week, you know, because they're just too busy to skate anymore with school and all their other commitments. So I know that these tips should help you guys. You just have to put in the work. When you do make progress, let me know in the comments. Send me a video over on Instagram. I have my Instagram page linked in the description. I have the Patreon group linked in the description. I have Collage Skateboards linked in the description as well. Thank you to Just Meats. After a heavy skate session like this, I want nothing more than to get home and put something in my stomach. With Just Meats, it's extremely easy. All I have to do is open it up, heat it, add the finishing sauce, and then I'm ready to plate and enjoy. This month, you can get 25% off, plus an additional 25% off at checkout. Use my code NormanW25. Thank you to all my other sponsors, and thanks to all of you guys who watch these videos, who comment on these videos. Enjoy skateboarding. Try to beat the heat, huh? Because I was worn out yesterday skating, I tell you. But peace, guys.